everyone! What's good? This is SilverHyena and welcome back to the channel. For today's video, I picked up these watercolor pencils at Hobby Lobby, and while I have tried out the Cretacolor woodless colored pencils, I really wanted to try out some regular watercolor pencils, so here we are. These are the Fine Touch, which is the Hobby Lobby kind of their store brand. So we are gonna see how well these work. First of all, the unboxing. Oh. Now let's get this underway. Do I have to sharpen these? That is the key thing. Yay, they're already sharpened! This is the 24 pack, but they came in some bigger packs as well. But I figured I would get the smallest one available just so that I could see if I liked them or not. Which, when getting new art supplies, that's always a good way to go. So, we got this, and I had the forethought to get a swatch sheet already. Hey, focus. Focus, camera. And if you've seen my very first ever Wish unboxing video, which was on my other channel, SilverHyena Plays, well, I had unboxed these, which are the Aqua Brushes. So we are going to see how well the Wish Aqua Brushes work as well. I have already filled up their little reservoirs with water. So, without further ado, let's get started. Okay, so we got all of our pencils laid out all nice and neat. Now the first thing I wanted to do is give you guys a close-up of the barrel. Oh boy. Unfortunately, while they may have the Fine Touch written across there, that's it. We don't have any names or anything, so, yeah. But let us not jump to judgment too quickly. We must test. So we'll see how well they go down dry. I mean, like, not the fanciest, not the worst. Overall, the pigmentation's not half bad. Of course, going down dry is only part of the test. I've been waiting for this. Ooh. It's not half bad. Not bad at all. Fades out nicely. Okay. There we have it. You gotta make sure to clean off your brush. Okay, so I am gonna speed things up while I do this with the other 23 colors. Stick around. Okay, overall, I am very happy with the colors. They're very nice. If I had to pick at one little thing, it's that this set of 24, there's no purple or violet. So that's the only odd thing about this, but hey, you know what? We could always try to make our own purple. Sometimes you just gotta do things for yourself. So, put down some red. And now let's top it off with some blue. Oh, jeez. Okay, that's it. This is driving me insane. Keeps wanting to roll all over the place. Layer some blue into that bad boy. There we go. Sometimes you just gotta make your own. Okay, the other thing I wanted to check out was once the water has dried, how well the dry color pencil will go back over. So far, not half bad. I have to say that I'm a little bit disappointed about the lack of names written on the barrel. However, for inexpensive watercolor pencils, the performance so far in the swatching process has been very satisfactory. So make of that what you will. I know I am. And let's see how it re-wets. I think it re-wets quite nice. So overall, solid test phase, but this is just the mere test. We've got to actually do something to really determine if these were worth the money. Just a sec. Alrighty, we are back. Very, very short break, I know. This was something I drew off camera while waiting for a video to render. Something I do a lot of. This is my Strathmore watercolor sketchbook. Original sketch was done in pencil, inked over it with my old friends, the Faber-Castell Pitt artist pen. In black, erase the pencil. And we are gonna try out the watercolor pencils for real on this bad boy. Oh, whoop. I did not intend to do that. Not sure if that picked up on camera, but the pencil leads got caught in between some of the pages of my sketchbook, and when I did my thing for emphasis, they, let's just say it was kind of silly. But anyways, let's get to it. Keep in mind that the last time I had used watercolor pencils, barring the Cretacolor woodless watercolor pencils, I'm not quite counting those because those ones were woodless. I am talking about the wood pencils with a core inside. Anyways, I was around 10 or 11. If I recall, they were Crayola. Oh, like I said, it's been a hot while. Hey, maybe I should revisit those one of these days. Anyways, there's not really an insane difference between regular and woodless that I could tell. Other than that, the woodless watercolor pencils have a higher price tag, but have much more pigment. Always a trade-off. And what I mean by that is, well, they're woodless. so the entire pencil is nothing but solid color, as opposed to having the wooden outside and a pigmented core, if that makes sense. Anyways, these were a ton of fun to use. I loved the bright colors, they layered well, and blended beautifully. What I like to do is put down my first layer, give it a light wash, let dry, rinse and repeat until you are satisfied with the result. Speaking of washes, the Aqua Brushes. This is my first time using these particular Aqua Brushes, and aside from a few rogue dribbles, they performed quite nicely. Now, for those of you that are unfamiliar, Aqua Brushes are paintbrushes that have a water reservoir in the handle that you can squeeze to release more water as you need it. They are absolutely wonderful to use with watercolor pencils, water-soluble inks. Just be aware of occasional dribbles. When I need more water, I move my Aqua Brush away from my piece and squeeze. That's it. Totally worth that whole $1 shipping on Wish. If I had to pick over a few cons, it would be a lack of darks in this particular set. For all I know, the larger sets come with more dark colors. Pretty much black is the only really dark in the set, which can quickly turn your piece to mud if you're not careful. The dark blue, while still not as dark as I'd like, was still a lifesaver. So pretty much shading and getting nice, lovely, rich darks with this set can be a chore. However, for base colors and even lighter pastel tones, they are lovely. Overall, I greatly enjoyed working on this and trying out these supplies. If you've used the Fine Touch watercolor pencils before, let me know, and let me know what you thought of them. As always, I always love to hear what you guys think. Alright, here we are, all done. Overall, I really enjoyed these. These were a lot of fun to use. Now, there are some much bigger sets. I just got the smallest set, at least I think it was the smallest one. There might have been a 12-pack, I'm not sure. Smallest or second smallest set that they had, just because I didn't know how much I would like them, and I figured this should be enough to work with, but not so much that if I ended up not really caring for them, then, wasted space, yada yada yada. Anyways, my final thoughts. I enjoyed these. However, for a 24 set, I would have preferred some more neutrals. This was essentially all the neutrals we got. And maybe a purple, although I think I was able to do my own purple, pink. I mean, if you're limited, it forces you to be creative. That is one thing. However, the larger sets, as I recall, do have more neutrals and more pastels, more this, more that, as well. Larger sets usually do. But if you're looking at getting into watercolor pencils, but don't want to break the bank, the Fine Touch at Hobby Lobby is a good place to start. I mean, I would give them at least 6.5 to 7, give or take, out of 10. I would say that would be a fair numerical rating. They're not the biggest and best and most fantastic, but they work, as you can see right here. Alrighty, if you enjoyed this video, please be sure to leave a like and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Also, if you would like to help out the channel, consider visiting my PayPal. Link will be in the description below. So with that being said, this is SilverHyena signing off. Stay creative, everybody. Bye!